When Adam Schiff graduated from Monte Vista High School in Danville, his student peers voted him most likely to succeed, and he was the class valedictorian. Those early benchmarks seem to have been prophetic. Since 2001, Schiff has represented California's 30th Congressional District. The 30th District includes Pasadena, Glendale, and Burbank, although its boundaries have shifted over the years. During Schiff's first term, it was the 27th District, and has since evolved to the 28th, the 29th, and is now the 30th District. Schiff is now in his 11th term, having defeated fellow Democrat, the improbably named Maebe A. As a side note, Maebe A. is a drag queen, self-described as a trans non-binary person and an advocate for the LGBT community. Adam Schiff was born in 1960 in Framingham, Massachusetts, the son of Edward and Cheryl Schiff, which was a politically mixed marriage. His father was a Democrat, his mother a Republican. He was brought up in a Jewish family which moved to Scottsdale, Arizona in 1970 and then to Alamo, California in 1972. After his graduation in 1978, he enrolled at Stanford University, where he studied pre-med but ultimately chose political science in law school. There, he earned a bachelor's degree in political science and graduated with distinction. From there, Schiff traveled to Massachusetts, where he attended Harvard Law School and earned his Juris Doctor Cum Laude in 1985. Schiff became a member of the Harvard Law School Forum, where he met some of the cream of the legal crop. Some of his duties with the forum were driving guest speakers to and from the airport. Among them, progressive Supreme Court Justice William Brennan Jr., and he worked as a student research assistant for the famed legal scholar Lawrence Tribe. After law school, Schiff became a law clerk for Judge William Byrne Jr., who sat on the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. In 1987, he became Assistant United States Attorney for the Central District, a post he held until 1993. In that capacity, he headed the prosecution in the high-profile trial of Richard Miller, a former FBI agent who had been accused of spying for the Soviet Union. In 1995, Adam Schiff married Eve Sanderson. Yes, the congressman and his wife are Adam and Eve. Eve was a volunteer for several causes in California, a social worker, and a talented tennis player. The couple has 2 children, Lexi and Elijah. Eve Schiff was raised as a Catholic, and Adam comes from a Jewish family. Early on, the couple decided to raise the children in the Jewish faith, but the family also celebrates Christian holidays. In 1994, Schiff entered politics, running in a special election in California's 43rd District. He was defeated by Republican James Rogan. In November, he lost to Rogan again in his bid for a full term. Then, in 1996, when he was 36, Schiff became the youngest member of the California State Senate. During his 4-year term, he was the chairman of the Senate's Judiciary Committee and Select Committee on Juvenile Justice, as well as the legislature's Joint Committee on the Arts. In 2000, Schiff entered national politics when he became the Democratic nominee for the U.S. House of Representatives, once again defeating James Rogan to represent California's 27th Congressional District. He has won every subsequent election and is now in his 11th term. In 2003, Schiff voted in favor of the invasion of Iraq, which he came to regret because American intelligence turned out to be wrong about the presence of weapons of mass destruction. He's a strong supporter of surveillance reforms and has criticized the bulk collection of telephone metadata by the National Security Agency. In 2014, Schiff sponsored the Telephone Metadata Reform Act, which prohibits the harvesting of domestic phone records. Also in 2014, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi appointed Schiff to the House Select Committee on Benghazi to investigate the 2012 attack on the American diplomatic compound there. Schiff's big leap into the spotlight came in 2017, when he was the ranking member on the House Select Intelligence Committee, which was tasked with investigating the supposed collusion by Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential election. In 2018, he undertook a personal mission to investigate any connections between Trump and the Russians, in addition to the special counsel investigation. He was heavily criticized when asked if he would accept the committee's investigation if it turned out that Trump had not colluded with Russia. He said that although he had great confidence in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, there could be evidence of collusion or conspiracy that is clear and convincing, but not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The 22-month investigation turned up no evidence that there was any collusion between Trump and the Russians. Nonetheless, the collusion theory is still brought up and apparently believed by Trump opponents and critics. In March of 2019, the that 9 Republican members of the committee called for Schiff's resignation due to the unfounded allegations. Schiff also played a lead role in the impeachments of Donald Trump. As chairman of the Intelligence Committee, he was one of the lead investigators in the inquiry against Trump stemming from the so-called Trump-Ukraine scandal, in which Trump tried to coerce Ukraine and other countries into providing damaging info on Joe Biden. Trump became the 3rd U.S. president to be impeached, but with the Senate voting along party lines, he was not convicted. In 2021, shortly after he left office, Trump was once again impeached, this time after the January 6th riot at the Capitol. Again, Schiff played a lead role. Again, Trump was not convicted. Schiff has drawn fire from Republicans as one of the outspoken anti-Trump leaders in Congress. In 2021, during the last few months of Trump's term, Schiff called him a danger to the Republic, the worst president we've ever had, and said he should be removed from office immediately by impeachment, resignation, or invoking the 25th Amendment. Schiff has also written several books, among them Midnight in Washington, How We Almost Lost Our Democracy and Still Could, a scathing critique of Donald Trump and congressional Republican members of Congress. It debuted on the New York Times bestseller list. Another short book by Schiff is Impeachment, An Opening Argument, which consists of the entirety of his opening argument in Trump's first impeachment. In December 2022, after billionaire Elon Musk acquired the social media platform Twitter, a number of documents were made public, outlining occasions on which governmental agencies and personnel pressured Twitter to censor comments or images that they didn't like. Among the events suppressed by Twitter was the existence of damaging evidence on the laptop of Hunter Biden, and many other stories and events that were detrimental to Democrat causes and narratives. In 2023, a new batch of Twitter files came to light, chronicling attempts by Adam Schiff to have people and content banned from the platform. Journalist Maebe A revealed that Schiff's staff asked Twitter quite often to take down particular tweets. One of those tweets was a parody photo of then-presidential candidate Joe Biden. It was an unflattering picture, as it portrayed the president with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. Twitter refused to remove it, saying that any reasonable observer would understand that it had obvious humor intent. Schiff's office also called for the suppression of search results about the staff on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, more popularly known as the January 6th Committee. Largely as a result of his prominent role in investigations and impeachments, as well as being pretty outspoken about his disdain for Donald Trump, Schiff has rocketed into the public consciousness in a relatively short time. But what are some of the things that we don't know about him? For instance, what's his financial status? What's his net worth? How rich is Adam Schiff? Let's see if we can find out. Estimates of Adam Schiff's current net worth vary considerably. OpenSecrets.org says that in 2018, it was $1,436,1100. GoBankingRates.com pegs it at $1.4 million. Still another website estimates $2 million. His wife Eve, according to several sources, is a homemaker and social worker. Her net worth is estimated at $50,000 primarily from her profession. There is one website, CAKnowledge.com, that lists Schiff's net worth at $60 million, which is far above estimates from other sources. In 2022, Schiff's campaign raised a total of $24,358,825 and spent a bit more than $17.6 million. Among the top contributors were the University of California, with $51,457, Comcast with $29,330. The campaign is reportedly debt-free. His only personal liabilities appear to be 2 homes, one in Maryland with a $500,000 mortgage and one in California with a $100,000 mortgage. He and his family now live full-time in Maryland. So how rich is Adam Schiff? It's sort of difficult to pin down exact numbers, but we estimate it somewhere between $1 and $3 million. Much of his net worth comes from stock holdings and other investments, and not his $174,000 congressional salary. And although he's thoroughly hated by MAGA and others on the far right because of his anti-Trump actions, he doesn't seem to carry the stain of corruption. And in his early 60s, he's likely to be in the public spotlight for quite a while to come.